Cool, we're live. Welcome back, everyone. It's been a week, and I wanted to talk about living and working in China. It's one of the most requested questions I get, topics I get from people, and notes here, but there's no here reasons to do business, China strategy, none of that. It's just me, Shanghai, and an honest conversation right now about what life is actually like here in 2026, living in China. You're a startup or you're an established company. And there is so much opportunity in China today. And I actually had a picnic with some friends today who are, I think, the Middle East, it had its time, like the last few years, and other countries have kind of had their time. But now China, with all of these new visas coming in, these come here for 30 days, no need for a visa. And I am sure the tourist numbers are through the roof right now here in China, which is fantastic to see. I'm really glad to see the foreigners coming back. I just walked through Xintiandi with my friends and it was popping. There was more foreigners than Chinese at one point. I was looking around thinking, am I in London or am I in Shanghai? So I wanted to really do this because I've just been getting a barrage of messages about what's life like living in China. I know you've lived there for it's 15 years now, because I first came to China in 2011, although I had a couple of years in London. So it's more like 13. I've been here more than 10 years now. And people genuinely been asking me, what's it like living here? Is it as good as what they make out? Because the Western media is very much wrong on China, I would say, particularly the BBC. And what do I actually do out here? Because sometimes some people get a bit confused. Are you an influencer? Are you a content creator? What are you in China? So I want to go through that again, because I still get those conversations. I still get people asking me, what do you do? And it's like, well, just have a basic look at my LinkedIn, or have a look at so I'm going to sort out my hair. It's a bit out all over the place. What do you actually do? Where would you recommend? I mean, Shanghai right now is where it's at. Shanghai is where I would say all the commercial opportunities are, but you can't knock Shenzhen. You can't knock Guangzhou, what's happening down there. Southern China's certainly got lots of opportunities. Is China really worth it? That's a big question. I think if you were going to take a bet right now, I'd be all in on China, but that's just me, and maybe I'm biased. But I want to show you guys why, not just tell you what China you should come here. Like, why should you come to China? Why should you be doing business right now? Because a big sticking point in my business, well, not a big sticking point, it's something that comes up. It's a lot of companies saying to me, oh, we don't really have China on your radar, which I think is the stupidest thing. If you're a big company that's got revenues of 30 million pounds or more, let's say 40, $50 million or more, China has to be on your radar. If you're not doing some sort of business with China, why not? But particularly if you're a big B2B business. So today I want to cover a few things with you guys. Right now, obviously, it's the summer. Right now, I was in Xintiandi today having this picnic with my friends, and it was popping. The vibe there, the atmosphere. We were all saying how safe it is here and how beautiful it is. There's no drones flying around, right? Something that was really interesting, I'll just tell you guys something really interesting, is we had this picnic in the People's Park, actually, right next to People's Square. So in between People's Square, Renmin Guanchang, and Xintiandi, there's like a park there. And it was beautiful. There's people around, there was families, there was couples, there was people just sat there wanting to just read a book. And there was these Baoan, these security guards around. And what I found really interesting was you couldn't lay down a picnic mat. So we'd obviously prepared a picnic mat, we'd prepared all this food, which is something I highly recommend you guys to do, maybe next weekend. If you've got a chance, wherever you live in China or around the world, get some friends together, get some family together, get out. We didn't use our phones for 3 hours. None of us. We just sat there, we talked, we reminisced, we talked about family, we talked about everything. I highly recommend it for anyone out there. Just get some food together. I did something really clever because my friends are from other countries. So I said, bring something from your country. So I brought some sausage rolls because I'm British. And I told everyone to bring something from your country, try and share some culture. Anyway, so this how you to put a picnic blanket down. I was thinking that's a bit odd. And then I realized it's because if you put the picnic blanket down, then actually it destroys the grass, apparently. So, yeah, we had a bit of a laugh about that because I found that a bit of an odd rule. Because you could fold the picket and then sit on it, but you couldn't put the picnic blanket out and then so you could put all the food on, but you could put the food on the grass. It was all a very confusing rule, but I respected it because this is something you got to understand about China or something I understand is I'm a guest here, right? It's a privilege for me to live here. I shouldn't think, oh, well, we do this in our country. By the way, I wouldn't have a picnic in England, probably because it would be raining. And also safety wise, yeah, I think it'd be okay. But London's fine. But I think a lot of it is a bit overhyped about your watch and your phone is being mugged. But in London, you'd have your wits about you a little bit more. I think in China, no one's running up to you stealing a phone or a watch. Never going to happen here. So yeah, I just want to tell you that little story because I had a beautiful afternoon with my friends this afternoon. And they happened to be living, in Dubai. And it was just interesting to hear their perspective because they were really kind of praising how great it is here in China. Yeah, exactly. When in Rome. I'm going to read some comments as I'm going because I'm getting wonderful comments. Thank you for that. And thank you for the support, guys. There's 400 people in the WeChat right now, which is fantastic. Love you guys. Appreciate the support. So I really want to talk about the optimism I'm feeling on the streets. And just generally in China, the mood is good. Weather does have a big effect on people. When the weather is sunny and warm, people do tend to come out. And there is a mood here that I think a lot of people outside of China are missing completely. Or even the people that come here to exhibit at an expo. Like I get a lot of clients from just, going to expos and meeting. And they'll fly in for 3 or 4 days. They might go down to the Bund. They might go down to Waitan for 1 day. But they're not really experiencing the China that I know. They're not really getting out and meeting the people. They're just going to their hotel and an expo room. So this is what I highly suggest for anyone coming here. Don't just come here for 3 or 4 days. Come here for a couple of weeks. Like really experience China. And this is what I was discussing with some of my friends today is, one of them was Chinese, and they said, I've never been to the Great Wall. I was like, you've never been to the Great Wall, but you're Chinese. Or you've never been to the Terracotta Warriors, Bing Mayong. You've never been to Xi'an. I was like, wow. So get out and explore this beautiful country because it's safe, it's cheap, it's convenient. There's a lot of scariness around China, which is really uncalled for, but also quite unfounded. It's like, why? Like, it's the safest place on the planet. Like, why would you not want to be here? And I really want to give, as I'm discussing right now, an honest life update, including kind of what's been going on with me. I love to talk about myself, and it's been a really interesting journey. What I'm actually doing here in China, as obviously I've alluded to the expos. Because I'm getting a lot of messages from people. I still get the message, what do you do, Daniel? So we'll have a basic look at because I'll give a great example. I interview for internships and jobs and people wanting to work with me. And the answer is on my LinkedIn. It's like right there on my banner. It says exactly what I do. And it's plastered all over my LinkedIn. And if you have a look, for the people that don't use LinkedIn, on my WeChat wall, my Pengyou Chuan, my WeChat moments, it's all, you can work out what I do. And maybe it's just my brain. When I meet people, I just look them up. I have a look at what they're doing. So I know exactly what they're doing. But just to clarify, guys, 5% of what I do is social media, as in I'm an influencer, content creator here in China. The other 95% is helping international companies scale and grow their business here in China, whether they're entering for the first time or they've been here for a year, 10, 20, 30 years. That's what I do. I help companies. And mainly I do that mainly through marketing, PR, and expos. I don't like to say marketing too much, because when I say the word marketing, companies go, oh, we don't need marketing. Yes, you do. It's the first thing that you need when you grow a business. If people don't know about you online, then it's very difficult to build a business or build a personal brand. And the business opportunities I'm seeing right now for anyone with their eyes on China is tremendous. It's humongous. It's ginormous. So let's go. Let's talk about this and get into a little bit more on the summer in Shanghai. Let's start on a summer breeze makes me feel fine. Because it's something else right now. The summer in Shanghai is something else. And I want to start with what's right in front of me. And I'll try and answer these questions I'm going through. How many years I've been in China? I've been here for over 10 years. It's actually 13 years now. Shanghai, the summer in Shanghai is a whole different city to any other time of the year. You know, in sort of November, October to February, it's cold, a little bit bleak. But from March, April onwards to now, today was just stunning. I mean, I wouldn't have been in the sun because obviously my fair skin, I would have burnt to a crisp in 5 seconds. But right now, the humidity is nice. It's not overbearing. Around June, July, it's going to get quite muggy, quite full on. And if you're from the UK like I am and you hit weather like this, it's just a dream. It's beautiful weather right now. And I'm being very British as well by talking about the weather. But a lot of people are asking me, when's the best time to come to Shanghai? Right now. Get on that flight right now. I would suggest get your flight done within the next month or two, because right now there's a real vibe. There's amazing ambience and atmosphere on the street right now. The restaurants are popping. I've been walking past all these restaurants. I'm seeing interesting ideas for different. Today, I thought this was a genius idea. Sweet potato ice cream. So sweet potato. I saw this outside a cafe. You've got a sweet potato with ice cream with then, what was it, toffee sauce or incredible idea. I hadn't ever thought of that before. I was thinking, actually, that's quite an interesting idea. The pizza place, Shanghai, I'd say for pizza right now is, obviously Italy is the go-to, but really incredible pizza restaurants here in Shanghai right now. And even the local food, I'm talking about Western food, but Chinese food. I went to a Shanghai local restaurant, which I don't do too often, to be honest. I went there a couple of weeks ago, place in Xintiandi, and it was incredible. I'll tell you where it is. If you go to Xintiandi, I always count that as the center of Shanghai. I don't think Lujiazui is the center of Shanghai. Xintiandi, if you're in Xintiandi, there's a big Apple. I'm not giving a promotion to Apple right now, but Apple, the tech company. If you see that poster, they've always got the same poster. There's like a volunteer booth and there's a poster. If you walk through that little alleyway, there's a Shanghai restaurant on the left. Can't remember the name, but you'd find it. It's where the tree is. There's a tree where everyone takes a photo. That place is incredible. Well priced, fresh food, local food. Really incredible place right now. And I want to talk about the weather as being British, because it's the kind of weather right now you could wear something like this, like a nice polo shirt or even a tank top, and you're not going to sweat. You can walk quite nicely right now, but probably in 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, probably even within the next, 4 to 6 weeks, I'll say, it's going to get muggy. It's going to get really hot. And so right now it's kind of like t-shirt weather, put on your sunscreen, glasses, looking cool, walking down the street. That's the kind of vibe I'm getting right now. And we were talking about this today, like if you do compare to other cities, like if you go to places like, I love Milan. I absolutely love Milan. And I love places like that. I'm not the biggest fan of London, but it's okay. But Here, it's a little bit more like everyone just goes about their business. There's no judging here. Everyone just gets on with their life. And so there's that kind of vibe happening here in Shanghai right now. And yet, this is the thing. Although you can relax, like I did this afternoon, having a nice picnic, the city doesn't slow down at all. It's still moving. Things are moving. The rooftop bars are packed. The outdoor dining terraces. I highly recommend Highline. Check out Highline. High as in high, and line as in a line in Xintiandi. That place it's a hidden gem. And if you're at Highline, if you look down, that's where I was today. That park, I was in that park. It's got a nice little pond. I think it's called the People's Park, from what I remember. That park. I might be wrong on that, but the Bund is popping right now. The park I was at today, Century Park, Jing'an, Fuxing, full of people, not just in the day, but in the evenings, when it's cooling down slightly. If I do miss a question, yes, I can speak Chinese, Mandarin, and where are you from? England. Great Britain. The morning runners are out at, I know because I get up at 5:30 most days, so I can see the runners are out, the cyclists, before the heat build. So it's a really great time to come right now. Street food. I'm seeing a bit of street food in the evenings, which is interesting. And the city just shifts its rhythm to accommodate the season. That's a really great way to describe it. Shanghai, the city just shifts its rhythm to accommodate the season, and it carries on at a full pace. Pudong I've been to Pudong a couple of times, and it's glittering right now. I've never really been a big fan of Pudong. I've always found it a bit far, a bit out of the way. I've always been a bit of a Huangpu guy. But the skyline at the Bund right now is just incredible. It's something you got to see. You've always got to see it in the evening. I would say go to the Bund in the evening, but even early in the morning, if you go down there at 5, 6 a.m. and see that sunrise, ooh, beautiful. So we talked about the food and Shanghai, transport. I've done some posts recently on LinkedIn about the trains, and I actually did a post last week about the trains being late. And sorry, I'll go back a bit. I'll talk about, but sorry, I've missed this about the food, which is the cuisine. The cuisine here has every price point, right? So if you're living off a kind of 30, 40 renminbi budget of food, which is fine, or you have the kind of 1,000 renminbi or more kind of budget for food, because they're kind of fancy Bund, Lu Jia Zui kind of restaurants. The thing about Shanghai is it has every price point. So every concept you can think of, you can eat very cheaply or very expensively. It kind of has everything for everyone. So that's the great thing about here. A meal that will cost you, I don't know, let's say 15, 20 pounds in England, let's say 150 to 200 renminbi here, could cost you, sorry, in England, it could cost you 50 renminbi, 50 to 100 renminbi here. So you're eating very affordably here. That never stops being remarkable for me. Transport. As I mentioned, I did this post about bullet train being late the other day, which has never happened to me in 10 years. And I couldn't believe it. Well, it wasn't actually late because I ended up making the time back up, even though I said it was late. And I've been using the metro a lot more recently, which I hadn't really done in previous years. I've always been a bit of a Didi Dacha, Didi taxi guy, or just jumping on one of the Meituan bikes, the yellow bikes. But I was discussing this with my friends today about Dubai. Like their metro just has like one line. It goes like from I'm being quite facetious or rudimental on this, but I think it kind of, let's say it just goes from west to east, east to west. But in Shanghai, it's like, hey, go anywhere you want. So the metro is just, it's probably the best in the world, I'd say right now. Same with the taxi sharing, the DDs, getting in a car in just 2 minutes. You can get from one side of this enormous city to another for the price of a cup of tea or less in England. So high speed rail, I've talked about that. You know, you can Shanghai to Beijing's 4 hours now, 4 hours, and it's going to be around 500 RMB if you get it on the right day. Hangzhou is 45 minutes from here. Infrastructure, it just underpins the daily life here. It's genuinely impressive, and I think people who haven't experienced that underestimate just how the quality of life that creates here. It just takes it to another level. Social scene, I'm going to talk about this for expats and Chinese. I'm seeing a lot more kind of cohesion again. You know, that in the last few years, I think there has been a bit of disconnect because of the special period that happened. But I feel that kind of coming together again, which I haven't seen in a while. And the foreigners are back. The Laowai are back. I mean, I never left. I've always been here. I'm still waiting for that I stayed here money. But there are more international faces in the city. And what does that mean? That means more international business. That means more hiring opportunities. I'm seeing so many foreign companies wanting to hire Chinese engineers, Chinese salespeople, Chinese HR, Chinese strategists. They are looking for China talent. That's Chinese people and foreigners that live here, speak the language. They're looking for Chinese and foreigners that understand both sides commercially, culturally. So really have a look right now, because with all these foreigners coming back to China, that means more and more opportunities. And why are they coming here? Because there's opportunities. And I don't just think there's opportunities for foreigners. I think there's opportunities for Chinese people out there. I've had 3 companies this week saying, Daniel, I'm looking to hire a local sales Chinese person. Can you help me? They don't want a foreigner. They want Chinese. And vice versa. I've had a couple of companies saying, hey, do you know a foreigner that might be a good fit for us? Chinese companies and foreign companies. So this, wherever you're from, there's opportunities. If you are willing to work hard, you've got the commercial know-how, you've got the network, you can utilize AI, you speak a couple of languages, English, Mandarin would be great. Expat heaven, you could say that for China, but I think it's a good time for Chinese people as well. Look, I mean, look at how lucky we are. It's not just like foreigners coming back to China and getting all the benefits. I think if you're a Chinese person right now, we've got lots of opportunities as well. Mix of people. I'm just seeing people mingling, which is what we want. And it's the right kind of people coming here. It's the people that genuinely I can see they want to learn. So you can just feel it here. Shanghai feels properly international again, which I haven't seen in a while. And I sell this not as a tourism brochure. I'm not getting paid for this. I bloody well wish I was. I wish I was getting paid for this. Would be great to get, at least 1,000 or 2,000 RMB out of this, 100 or 200 quid for this. I say it because I think context matters. When people ask me whether China is worth it, whether it's to live here or do business or just to visit, I want them to understand the baseline. The quality of daily life here is exceptional. I'll repeat, the quality of daily life here in China is exceptional. It's next to none. I can't think of anywhere else in the world. I do like Australia. I will say that. I loved Melbourne. I love Sydney. I love it there. The thing that lets Sydney and Melbourne down is the price of everything. I think it's bloody expensive to live there. I know, like Sydney, to buy property's gone through the roof. But this matters both for people that are looking to live here and to do business here. And for the companies trying to attract and retain top talent, for all of you looking for a job or a new adventure or to create a business, you should be looking at China. That's what I'm going to say. And I think I've proven why. Guys, any questions? Oh, everyone's arguing in my comment section. Why? Don't argue, guys. Just love each other. I don't like it when people argue. I love it when you give love to each other. You can disagree, but find common ground. Oh, I do love my water. That's what I'd like a sponsorship from, a nice soda water company. So let's talk a little bit about the optimism and the opportunities in the air. So, right, let me talk something that's a little bit harder to put a number on. Do I have a company in China? Yes, I do. Do you believe in extraterrestrials, UFOs? Yes, I do. I do believe in that. Well, it's proven. I don't mean to believe in it. It's been proven. It's fact. So I want to put a bit of perspective on the optimism in China right now, because it definitely feels different. It's tangible. It's real. And I have to be careful here, because I'm not going to pretend everything is perfect. I hate a spitting uncle. I hate it when they and spit on the floor. I hate that. I don't like everyone smoking around me. I think that's a horrible habit. What else don't I like about living here? Yeah, some of the cleanliness and stuff. But then you could say that some of this stuff happens in the UK. You know, some of this stuff happens around the world, and they're minor issues in the grand scheme of things. People talk about the quote unquote lack of freedom, which is complete nonsense. Because in the UK right now, I wouldn't run down the street protesting, right? It's just a waste of my time. I have more important things to be worried about, you know, as far as growing a business, making impact, making money, supporting my team here. So people talk about the privacy, lack. We're all infiltrated. You understand this, right? I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, all of those platforms, anyone like all of these governments around the world can get in at any point. And I get this from some Western companies. They say this about WeChat. They say WeChat is a not very secure platform. Nonsense, right? I would rather have a business on WeChat than, well, you can't really grow a business on WhatsApp because it's not the same platform. WeChat and WhatsApp are not the same. But I keep saying the word big. It's not. It's minor from some companies. Some international companies will come to me and say, well, it's not very secure living in China, and complete nonsense. It's because they don't understand China. They don't understand what WeChat is. A lot of companies I speak to, they'll say, "Oh, WeChat is that it's that messaging app." It's like, WeChat is more than that. It's an ecosystem. It's where you can build businesses. It's where you can buy things. It's where you can check news. It's got its own social media. I'm live streaming on it right now. It's a social media platform. It's a CRM. It's more than that. So I get that sometimes about, you know, the stuff you don't like living in China. I like the fact that it's safe here. I don't mind CCTV everywhere. I'd love for it to work in London, because I know a lot of CCTV doesn't work in London. But yeah, good point. Don't do business with uncredited. It's not just Chinese people. It's anyone. Anyone is uncredited wherever they're from. It's not just Chinese people. You'll be ruined. You have got to. I think there's a big thing about trusting people, and that would happen in any country. It's not just China. I mean, in the UK, there's dodgy people. You just got to know who to navigate, and that's why I say to companies, come to me first. I probably have the answers. I've got the network. I always say this to companies. There's definitely an economic momentum. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so many foreigners coming right now. The Chinese economy is growing. It's not the explosive growth that we saw 15 years ago, but it's steady, it's broad, it's based, it's real growth. And the technology sector, is genuinely exciting right now. There's a big event in Macau coming up at the end of this month called Beyond. Not the band Beyond. Not Beyond. I'm talking about Beyond Expo in Macau at the end of this month. That's going to be big for tech, domestic AI development right now in China. The semiconductor push, clean energy transition, EV industry. We were talking about Chinese cars with my friends today. I mean, they're so comfortable. And really just undercutting the Germans completely and the rest of the international car industry. These are the conversations I'm having with friends, business people on the expo floors here in China. I've got 2 expos to attend this week. I'll be going to DIA, which is a big clinical trials expo, and I'll be going to SIAL, the big food and beverage expo here. And these kind of client meetings that I'm having, there's this real energy about what's being built here. And part of this, I think, is cultural confidence. There's a pride in Chinese innovation, Chinese products, Chinese capability that feels stronger than ever before. I've seen on even TikTok and Western social media, there's like this Gen Z young people wanting to be more Chinese, which I found interesting. I think the way that China does a lot of things great doesn't get promoted enough. We talk about Chinese medicine today. I remember this when I first came to China, like living in mainland China in 2013. I was living in Tianjin, and I was really sick for the first month because I was getting used to living here as a foreigner. My body was becoming climatized. I probably wasn't washing my hands enough, and I was eating a lot of street food when I should have had a bit of a healthier diet. And I tried everything when I was here. I even went to like a more Western style hospital at the time. And I went to a Chinese medicine hospital after trying everything. And they gave me this disgusting drink, which was like, you smell it and you're like, ooh, and it, full of bark and trees and all sorts. And I was like, I managed to down this thing. Next day, absolutely fine. So it's Chinese innovation and products. And it's not just what's happening now, it's what's happened thousands of years ago. Like a lot of stuff that China has invented, we still use to this day. It's just incredible. But this assumption that the best things are just all from the West and is being challenged now. I think there is some stuff that's in the West that the Chinese are buying right now. This is kind of what I'm selling. Like a lot of Western companies, some of their products, the Chinese can't copy. And it's particularly when it comes to healthcare, life sciences, some manufacturing, or some products. Like where my hometown is, Northampton, Bay Ampledon, we make really nice shoes there. You can't copy those in China. You could try, but it's not going to be the same as the source because they hand make those nice shoes that you see in the movie Kingsman or James Bond or the TV series Succession. Those nice shoes, I'm not giving them a plug, by the way, but your Crockett and Jones, your Trickers, your Barker, John Lobb, those shoes are made in a factory in England. You can't really make them anywhere else abroad because they're all proper leather, so all handmade. So Chinese buyers are still buying stuff from the West. That middle class is something that a lot of people don't understand in the West. That middle class in China is wealthy, they're open to the West, and they're decision makers. So you need to think about them, just target, okay? But I get a lot of this kind of defensiveness but really what you need to focus on is the energy, the ambition. Embrace China. Don't try and work against it because you'll just lose. You'll lose. Or if you're not a part of it, we don't trust the Chinese or China just copies everything we do. It's not true. It's not true at all. Because if you make a product or service that is uncopyable, that is difficult to, then you've got nothing to worry about. And even if they do copy you, you've got your prestige, you've got your history, you've got the credibility. So this is what I always talk about with Western companies. I talked about the property market last week in my last live stream. Residential property prices have gone down, but you also need to be aware that not nobody's really selling, but not many people are going to be selling when the property prices are down. You may find deals here in Shanghai. But the optimism I'm feeling on the streets is back, and the people living here are not pessimistic about the future. They're very pro what's happening. They're building, they're investing, they're planning, they're moving. The energy of this city, it believes in itself, and it's hard to fake that if you're here, and it's really impossible to miss. Shanghai has it right now. So let's talk about with the last what we've got last 15 minutes or so. I want to talk about what I actually do, because it's been quite a well asked question in the comments here. Lots of people asking me this. What do I actually do? And let me clear this up. I do have my own business here in China. So I have my own China strategy consultancy. And I want to say it plainly. 95% of what I do is I'm a China strategist consultant. I help mainly international companies that are entering or already in China. They've been here for a year, 10, 20, 30 years. I don't just work China market entry. I also work with companies that have been here for many years and have pain. That's my business, my job. It's 95% of what I do. I work mainly with international B2B companies from UK, Northern Europe, America, Italy as well, and France, North America, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, who want to build or grow a real commercial presence here or expand on what they have right now. And by real, I mean revenue generating, not a logo on a trade show or just exhibiting at a trade show. They genuinely want to build the business. They want to find a distributor, or they want to grow a sales team, not just a token presence. Actual pipeline, actual sales, actual sustainable growth in the Chinese market. That's what I do. And now people sometimes assume I'm just a marketing person because I talk about WeChat and Baidu and Expos. And marketing is absolutely part of what I do. And it's actually the first thing that companies should do. Whether you're a Chinese company or you're a Western company, the first thing you should do is your marketing. If people don't know about you, it's very difficult to grow your business. Plus, it's what, even if you have a meeting with a Chinese decision maker, they will look you up online. So you cannot grow in China without a proper Chinese digital footprint. WeChat, Weixin Gongdonghao, WeChat official account, WeCom, the CRM, Weixin Shiping, WeChat channels, video channels, Chinese website, localized presence, Baidu SEO, Bing SEO. Bing has just overtaken Baidu in China as the desktop search, not the mobile search. The right content in Mandarin. That's all real, and that's what matters. Most of my decision makers actually are in the West. I don't really have many decision makers in China. Western companies. It's usually the HQ in UK, Germany, America that I'm speaking to. I don't really. I mean, if a company comes to me and says they got a Chinese marketing team, straight away that's like a red flag for me, because that means they've already got marketing, right? But marketing sits inside a bigger picture. The goal is always business growth, understanding how Chinese buyers make decisions, because I think Chinese buyers are great. I think they're actually probably the easiest buyers to work out as far as what they're looking for. Building the right distributor or partner relationships is good, but actually your positioning, your digital positioning correctly in the market is the most important thing. Pricing strategy, regulatory considerations, yeah, you have to consider all of that, but you really need to understand kind of the cultural nuances that determine whether a Western company builds trust here or doesn't. And that's the work. That's what you need to build. So here's what I want people to understand, because a lot of people still ask me, like, what sectors do you cover? So even though I've been banging on about it for 18 months now, but life sciences, that could be biotech, that could be medical equipment, could be pharma, could be clinical trials, CROs, healthcare, anything related to sciences is something that I cover. Semiconductors, manufacturing of any kind, anything in your room right now. I always think about in this room. I always use, when I speak to people, I talk about up there, I have ACE air conditioning. The pipe that's on that air conditioning would have been made in a factory. So any kind of manufacturing in a factory, that's something to consider. Technology, tourism. I do some education. So universities, schools, PBSA, so student accommodation around universities. That's what I cover. These are areas where international companies often have a genuine edge, and it's something that some Chinese companies can't offer. You know, a Chinese company cannot offer a university in the UK because it's in the UK, right? So it makes sense. And this is where Chinese decision makers and the Chinese market has appetite, and it's enormous and it's funded. So China is not just a market you test. Like, I get that sometimes, like, oh, we want to see how it goes. We'll try a 3-month plan on China. No, it's 3 years, it's 10 years. It's something you don't test with just half a budget. You need a really robust budget, £10,000 or more. I always add that in there. And just having a vague strategy is not enough. You know, companies that I watch win here, they have really robust budgets. They have pain. They really are bullish on China. They want to do business here. They're ones that commit. They embrace the culture like I do. They have proper budget, proper timeline, proper local support. You know, 18 to 24 months kind of minimum before you can really see some sort of compounding effect. You're not going to crack China in 3 months, maybe in a year if you have the right strategy, but it's not a 3-month deal. It's years of work. I do still get this, but companies coming in with an attitude, you know, just like, let's try and see. You know, it doesn't work like that, because they almost always leave disappointed. Not because the market rejected them. It's not the market's fault. It's their strategy, I always find, because they never really entered it. They never really entered China in the first place. Recently, I have had a lot of Chinese companies going the other direction. So I've had Chinese companies approaching me. The issue I find with some Chinese companies, not all, they're expanding into international markets and needing someone who can bridge both sides, is they also don't have a budget. You can't crack the UK on £5,000, on 50,000 RMB. Doesn't work. Fact. You need a really robust budget. Okay, guys? You can't just... And I get this a lot from particularly Chinese companies, is they will message me through WeChat and say, hey, I'm a factory in Dongguan. Let's collaborate. That doesn't give me any information. Give me a proper brief. Tell me who you are, what do you do, what are you looking for, what's your budget, what does success look like in a few years' time, 10 years' time, a year's time, what's your KPIs, what have you already got in place? Exactly, £5,000 for what exactly? That's what I'm asking you. And people say they've got a budget of 5,000. I'm like, well, what's that for? You know, that's what it's not. People get this wrong when they approach me about doing business with me. They'll say, well, quote me, give me a price. Like, no, you tell me what your budget is. Because if I do a good old proposal, you know, big old proposal, and spend a few days on it, and then you turn around and say, I don't have the budget, you've wasted my time. I only work with companies that are really serious, because they will just waste your time. They'll run rings around you, and half the time they'll take the proposal and do it themselves anyway. But Chinese companies going abroad, I think that is a big opportunity, and that's a growing part of what I do, because I think Chinese companies need help as well. It isn't just foreign companies entering China, it's Chinese companies going abroad. Like if a Chinese company came to me and said, Daniel, we're going to pay you a retainer, a couple of thousand a month, and can you help us in the UK? I could do that. You know, it obviously depends on the. I'm not talking a couple of thousand RMB. I'm talking a couple of £1,000 or more. I'm just throwing that out there as numbers, by the way, guys. This is not a set amount. Southeast Asia, I want to talk about that because I think it's worth a mention here because it is growing part of my work. Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines. These are markets that are moving fast. And a lot of companies I work with, both Chinese and foreigners, are looking at Southeast Asia as the next logical step, which is an interesting one. And the growth trajectories, the demographics, the appetite for international B2B products and services, it's a real opportunity. B2C as well, consumer products, and one I'm seem to be spending a little bit more time on now. So China strategist is what I do. B2B growth mainly. International companies in China, Chinese companies going abroad now. That's what I do. Bit of Southeast Asia. So hopefully that's a bit more clearer now. Any questions? Because we're going to wrap this up soon, guys. Obviously, we're 10 years in China. I'm going to pull this all together. I'm still not surprised by this place. It still wonders me. It still baffles me. Can I read Chinese? Yes, I can. Not every single character. There's always characters I'm still learning, but yeah, I can read Chinese. Basic, conversational, business level. The summer is here. The city is absolutely alive. The mood on the streets is optimistic in a way that I find genuinely energizing. The economy is growing here in China. The tech sector is buzzing. The B2B, any sector you're in, is buzzing. Cultural confidence is palpable. The daily quality of life, the food, the transport, the way of life, the safety, the convenience, the sheer pace of everything is exceptional in a way that I think people who haven't experienced it really struggle to picture. And I think if you did see the live streams with iShow Speedy, he showed a real China, kind of what's happening right now here, and it was fascinating to see. The thing is with Speed is he's not here all the time. I'm here all the time, so I'm living this. I'm breathing it. I'm soaking in the atmosphere, meeting the people every day. From a business perspective, the opportunities are real. They are right now. Foreign companies who commit properly to this market, whether you're exhibiting at an expo or Chinese companies going abroad, who need the right bridge. Because Chinese companies cannot just go by themselves. They need support. They need local staff as well. If they're going to the UK, they need a Brit. They need British people. The B2B expo circuit, which I am fully involved with, is stacked with commercial energy and opportunities right now, especially in the first half of this year. The first 4 months, I've been going to expos since February. And it's been popping here, lots of opportunities. And Southeast Asia is next as a logical step as well. So having that on your radar. Running through all of this, the same message I keep coming back to is moving with intent. Move with intent. Commit properly. Have proper budget. Don't half do it and wonder why it didn't work and blame the Chinese people and blame the Chinese market. What you should be blaming is yourself. Your China strategy was flawed. Or your strategy in life, whatever you're doing, was flawed. China rewards the people who show up fully. Let me repeat that because I mucked it up. China rewards the people who show up fully. On the personal side, from my own side, I'm really happy. Life is going really well. And the opportunities here are really astronomical. And wow, what a time to be alive. I will add this as well, guys. I do have obviously all my social medias. So please do follow me, check out my videos. I have my own WeChat group. If you would like to join,我有自己的微信群，现在我会说中文。我有自己的微信群，如果你粉丝群，如果你感兴趣加入我的粉丝群 group，你可以私信我，然后会发给你二维码。So if you would like to join my WeChat group, you're welcome to. Just direct message me. I'll send you the code. You can join. The group is to make friends, to support my content, discussing China life. So if you'd like to join, you're welcome to. It is a rat race right now, and this is what I tell my staff, but you need to shine. You need to be utilizing AI, know how to prompt AI. You need to have a fantastic network. Start building that network. You need to have very high IQ, EQ. So if your EQ is not the best, maybe start speaking to people, meeting people. That would be my best advice. So guys, drop any comments, questions that you've got now. I'll be on for another 5-10 minutes. If anyone's got any questions about China, business, anything you'd like to ask. If you would like to join my fan group, you're welcome to. And I also want to say I'm very grateful for all of you, all of my fans out there. You guys rock. You guys are amazing. I appreciate all of your great advice, comments. I love you all. And I love all the mothers out there because it's Happy Mother's Day. 母亲节快乐. So happy Mother's Day to all of the Chinese mothers and Western foreign mothers around the world. I did wish my mother a happy Mother's Day today, and she said, "Son, you are mad." In the UK, we had it in March, so I get a lot of that. Anyway, guys, any final questions before we wrap up? We've had lots of people, over 100 people in the WeChat tonight. It isn't Mother's Day in the UK, no. I'm from the UK. I do get that question, like, are you British? Have a look at my content. If you were to take a guess, looking at my content, where I'm from, and my fabulous accent, where would you guess I'm from? You'd probably have a pretty good punt. It's probably in the UK. Thank you for the support. 他不认识中国词，我认识中国词。Haha! I love catching people out when they think I don't speak Chinese, and I do. Ha 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 ha. 我可以说中文. I can speak Chinese. So be careful, guys. Never 八卦, never gossip about me when you're in my vicinity, because I will understand. 如果你们八卦，我听得懂，看得懂，小心。Do I speak Gaelic? No, I don't. Beautiful language. Beautiful, beautiful language. Where is the location right now? We've just discussed Shanghai. So I'm in Shanghai. I'm in Shanghai. Lots of comments coming in, guys. Germany, hi. Right, guys, I think I'm going to cut it there because you guys, it's an evening. It's 10:15. So if you missed anything that I said, do go back and rewatch this. There will be a replay to watch this afterwards. Guangzhou, Dianzan, Zhangfa, go back and rewatch this and all my videos. I'm hopefully, I'm going to try and keep up with the consistency with this if I can. And if any of you have ever got any questions, you can just find me. It's not hard to find me and just message me online. It's pretty easy. Thank you, guys. Thank you for the lovely gifts and all of the support. You guys are amazing. Appreciate it. That was my, there you go. That's my torche, my slippers. Cool. All right, guys, I'm going to cut it there. I'm going to cut the live stream. Hope you all have a wonderful week ahead and enjoy your Sunday evenings and weeks. Work hard, play hard. 好好学习，天天向上，好好努力工作，天天向上。All right, guys. we'll leave it there. Take care. Do you usually participate expos? Canton Fair, no, only expos in Shanghai. All right, guys, take care. 我爱你们，再见，母亲节快乐，Happy Mother's Day，拜拜，再见，拜拜。